life will knock you down hard for that matter. But I just want to submit to you that the best way and the strongest way to come back is when you are weakest. You don't believe me? Let's go into the video where we learn how to come back stronger and better. So I went online and I was checking what is resilience because I want all of us to be in the same page. I can explain this to our Kenyan people. Resilience ni vile tunasemanga when ni hardcore. Like when yeah, you're stronger than whatever it is that you're going through. But I want to read for you the definitions of resilience that I saw, and then we will get on with this discussion. So resilience refers to an individual's ability to recover from life's challenges, hardships such as trauma, illness, workplace issues, and relationship struggles. People who are resilient are often said to bounce back after experience adversity. I know that sometimes we sit down and we wonder, Kai, how is this person able to overcome probably a challenge that if you look at it, if you were given, you wouldn't manage probably to come out of it. And you're not saying, oh my goodness, this person is strong. How did they overcome maybe, for example, grief of losing a loved one? How did they overcome? Probably they lost everything overnight in terms of like their finances. You know, there are times where you invest and then money just disappears, the investment goes south and you lose everything in a twinkle of an eye. And you hear this person saying, it's okay, I'm just going to make more money. And you're there thinking, you have lost probably billions or millions. How are you making it look so easy? It's like it's nothing. That is what in Kenya we call hardcore. We only say hardcore, right? And that is what we want to do in this particular channel, to build hardcoreness, right? What we call resilience. If you are there and you're going through challenges of life, I always say that life will never lack challenges because all the seasons you go through something that probably is difficult, is challenging your faith, is challenging you as a person. It requires a lot from you. I'm going to read, this is a Forbes issue that I saw, and they were writing about the 7 C's of resilience. Like there are these C's that a person demonstrates to show that they are capable of having high level of resilience. So I'm just going to read them through even as we talk about it, and then we will now go to how do you build resilience, okay? The competence. So competence is knowing you're capable and have the skills to handle adversity. So do you think you're competent? Can you handle challenges that come your way? I remember when I was in high school, a friend of mine, no, I wasn't in high school, I was in campus. A friend of mine experienced a heartbreak from a very handsome guy. And when we were having conversations, you know how you encourage someone, but at the end of the day, I sat down and asked myself, if I was put in the situation that she was put in, how would I behave differently? What would I have done better? Do I have the capability to handle that situation if it were like if tables turned? And I sat down and I was like, not really. I don't think I would have done anything better than the way she handled it, even while we were having that conversation. But again, it is something that you can learn. So competence can be learned because it is about skills. It is you learning something so you can actually acquire the skill to overcome and how to handle adversity. The other thing is confidence, believing in your strengths and abilities. A lot of people that overcome challenges know that they have strengths and they have abilities that can help them. So they are very confident with themselves. And that is why I started by saying, you find that they're just saying, I've lost a million back or more, and that I can recover because they believe in themselves. They know by the same skills I used to make that money that I have lost, I have the same skills, and now I have actually learned from probably the mistakes I have done in where I invested or whatever the situation was on how they lost the finances. Now they know better. So they won't do the same mistake again. The other thing is connection. Having a support network Having a support network and ties to others in the community, creating a sense of security. So a lot of these people that are very easily able to overcome challenges have very good networking. Networking is your social capital. Do you have people that can stand with you when you're going through challenges? Because sometimes all you need is a shoulder to lean on. It's not like you're strong. And I've said that sometimes life will hit you hard and you are strongest when you are weak, because that is when now the social capital comes in, where that networking and that connection that you have with people around you can help you. If, for example, if we continue with my example that I've given of losing money, is do you have people who can stand in for you while you are recovering? If you need probably another capital to invest so that you can make either similar amounts of money or more, you need to get that money from somewhere. So can your social capital give you that money so that you can reinvest it into your business or something of the sort? If it is the support system from your family, are they ever there to just hold on and just encourage you and every day just speak life to you? Because of course, as we said, it is you handling challenges. So you are not in a place where these challenges are going, but you need to come out of them. If it is the loss of a loved one, do you have a support system that encourages you through it so that you can recover? Emotionally, you are weak, but they are there to support you and they hide your weaknesses. When you are crying through it and when you're going through the challenges that you're going through, they are there to support you. And once you recover, they are not the first ones to go out there and speak of your weaknesses and be like, you think this person is strong? No, we were the ones who are doing everything. No, there are people who actually cover you, and you will never know that they covered this particular person. The other thing is character, staying true to your values and beliefs. This is the one thing in our generation that people actually are not very good with. We have values, we have belief systems, but we hardly stick to them, especially when we're going through adversity. That is the time in our Kenyan, especially community, where you find people now compromising. They want to pay what we call hongo, in other words, a bribe to either someone who can maybe try and solve the situation for them, make it less easier, make it less painful, maybe help them to get shortcuts because they don't want to go through the process again. So they compromise and they don't stay to their values and beliefs. Others who are Christians, by the way, you find that they are compromising because they have a hard time and they want probably to get a job. And you find them just going there to compromise. Others date their bosses, others sleep with their bosses so that they can get promotions because they feel like I need to find a solution for whatever I'm going through. And for me to be that, then they now become desperate to a point that they can carry their values and beliefs and they put them aside, do shady stuff, and then carry their belief system afterwards. But that is not how it's supposed to be. For you to be resilient, even in hard seasons, you need to maintain your values and beliefs regardless of what you're going through. The challenges, as I've said, they can be many and they can cut across board. So it doesn't matter whatever challenge it is. And when you're going through it, don't think that that challenge is not big. Because one thing that we have a problem with is when someone is going through something, you tend to trivialize their pain. You're like, you don't understand because probably what you're going through, according to you, is small. But the person who is going through the challenge, to them, at that particular time, that is not a small challenge. It is not a small issue. So we need to extend grace. But please do not put your principles, do not put your belief system and your values aside just because you want to fit in, just because you want the challenge to be over. Even if you are in your weakest, you can actually glide through that challenge and overcome without compromising your values and beliefs. The other thing is contribution. And contribution, what they say is having a sense of purpose and knowing that you have the power to positively impact others. When you know that you can contribute positively to the lives of other people, even when you're going through hard seasons, it helps you walk through it. We know, personally, I am in a church where we lost our bishop and we saw the wife just go through the season of loss and grief. And I thought for a moment there, because of the love that she had for her husband, she would probably take some time off and be like, I can't do this, give me time to grieve. And because it is something that is understandable, we will all like be okay, you take your time and do your thing. But what I saw in that season is, because she has this what we call sense of purpose, there is what the mandate of the church says. And she was not just a bishop's wife, she was also part of the founding members of the church, and she was very how do I put it? She was very close to the purpose of the church, meaning it is part of what gives her purpose. So we saw her rise to the occasion, and as much as she's paining, as much as she's grieving, she's also has risen, and she has set the bar even higher. Now we look at her and we're like, oh my God, we love your form of resilience, because life hit her, but she did not allow the grief to take away from what she needed to contribute in the economy. Sometimes she will stand in that pulpit and encourage people, prophesy over them, speak life to them, but she's hurting, and you can see that by then she's going through something. She's busy creating content out here, but we can really see that by later it has not been easy for her. And this one really makes sense when you come to think about it in terms of how you can overcome resilience. When you know that aside from the struggle that I am going through, aside from whatever life has hit me with, I have a purpose. There's what I need to do, and it has to be done. So it is not necessarily work, because you can ask for time out or time off, or decide whether I'm quitting so that you can concentrate on the grief. But it is about, I have a contribution to put, and I cannot compromise that for whatever. So I take the pain, I shove it somewhere, I do my assignment. When I need to cry, I go cry. If I need to go and do something, I go do that. But at the end of the day, I need to contribute. It is easier for someone who has something to contribute or a sense of purpose to overcome and build that resilience, because they are doing this no matter what life throws at them. The other thing is coping, knowing how to manage stressful situation. The coping of, like, I cope with the situation as it comes. So of course I have gone through this. This has come, but I need to cope with whatever it is that has come, because at the end of the day, I don't want it to mess my entire life and everything that I am here to do. So what they do, these people who have the high level of resilience, they cope with the situation. Okay, so now what happened? Let me go back to my initial example of we've lost money. Okay, so I've lost money. So how am I coping with this situation? Do I need to probably downgrade? Do I need to do what am I supposed to do? Because now they are trying to work with, how do I cope with the situation? So how soon can I recover? And then from now, understanding that aspect, then they reorganize their lives and they plan themselves well so that they can be able to cope with the situation. The last one is control, understanding that the choices you make have consequences and acting accordingly. Now, I am going to mention a few things of how you can actually build resilience and bounce back stronger. I will start by one thing that I think is very important. I know that some of these points are repetitive, but we are going to talk about them because you need to rebuild resilience. The first one is reframe your challenges. Instead of asking why me, ask what I learned from this situation. You see obstacles as opportunities to grow. Shift your mindset from victimhood to empowerment. So what we are talking about is basically looking at the challenge that is coming to you from the aspect of, I am not a victim, I am going to overcome this, I am going to overcome this, and I am going to win. So you are not a victim, you are you look at it as, how can I be empowered from this situation? It has come to me, what is it teaching me as an individual? It is not why me, it is what can I learn from it? The second thing is strengthen your support system. As I talked about, you having people who can support you, you need them, and you need positive people who will encourage you through the season, okay? It is about talking to them through your struggles and just trusting them that they will help you gain perspective and avoid feeling isolated. Develop a growth mindset. Believe that challenges are temporary and you can adapt and grow. Focus on progress, not perfection. Remind yourself of past times you have overcome tough situations. This one just helps you to grow. through it, so that these challenges you can use them as temporary levels of understanding and growth. The other thing is practice self-care and self-maintenance, of course, because you will go through a lot of things. And when we are stressful, we tend not to eat, probably not to sleep well, we don't exercise, and then the body turns out to be fatigued, and then you become and you start having issues. So in this case of practicing self-care, is just making sure that you sleep when you need to sleep, sleep enough hours, and exercise and eat well while you're going through the adversity and the challenge that you're going through. The other thing is set small and achievable goals. If you are going through a very tough challenge, it is so hard when you set a goal that is not easily achievable or something that is too big, because again, it begins to show you how small and how defeated you are. But when you set small goals and you achieve them, that also boosts your confidence to want to go, and it helps your life not to become too overwhelming. And of course, it breaks those challenges into half, and at the end of the day, you get to achieve that which you want to achieve. The other thing is embrace flexibility and adaptability, because at the end of the day, life will hit you hard, okay? And sometimes you can plan your life, but it is hard for you to plan for every challenge of life. And when it is like that, then you need to be flexible and adaptable in a place where whatever challenge comes, you are flexible to change, you are very easy to adapt to whatever it is that is coming through, and then that makes life easier. So you're not rigid and you're not there just saying, I wanted it this way, but of course, because I can adapt, then again, depending on whatever challenge is coming, then it is easy for you to adapt. The last one is cultivate inner strength through gratitude. So you write 3 things you're grateful for each day. This simple habit can boost your emotional resilience. Practicing gratitude daily rewires your brain to focus on the positive even during hard times. So what we are talking about is you just looking at positive things in your life that are happening that will help you, by the way, not focus on whatever is a hardship that you're going through. So to finalize, I just want to say that even if life hits you hard, you have the capability to arise. So right now, whatever it is that you're going through, I know that you're able to overcome, and you will overcome. Grow yourself, improve yourself on a daily basis, and don't ask why me. Look at it as an opportunity for you to grow, for you to improve and become better. Life can get hard, can be discouraging, and I know that some of you are going through the hardest season of your life, even as we are having this conversation today. I know that you have the capability to handle whatever it is that you're going through, and do not feel for 1 minute that you are a victim. Look at yourself from a point where you are able to overcome. You are more than a conqueror, and you will conquer depending on what you're going through. I believe in you. I have confidence in the fact that you can come out of it. You have all it takes to overcome. So don't be alone. Help us talk to others as well, and as we encourage them to arise and to come back stronger than ever, I know that they will be encouraged through it. Again, I want to say thank you even for being here and for watching this video to the end. God bless you. See you. Bye bye.